Let's take you here now. EFF Secretary General Marshal Dlamini says they will not be limited to protesting only in certain areas of Durban. Dlamini has led party members on a peaceful march in the Durban CBD as part of the party's nationwide shutdown. He says they plan on moving to areas north of the city this afternoon. Let's get the latest. We now cross to our reporter Jayed Paulse in Durban. Jayed, thank you so much for your time and good afternoon to you. Now, interesting there that, Dlamini is saying that they will not, as the EFF, be stopped in entering some areas. Earlier, Julius Malema addressing the crowd in Pretoria saying that they will address certain concerns that they have with the police leaders in KwaZulu-Natal. Talk to us what's been happening and what are the areas of contention there.
Yes, well, a very good afternoon to you and the viewers back at home. And as you can see on your screens, hundreds of EFF members as well as members of society have joined in on the nationwide protest here in eThekwini Metro. There were talks that this particular group were going to take a very slow walk to Gateway, to Umhlanga, as well as to Phoenix. I must tell you that it is scorching hot in Durban. Temperatures are really soaring. Many stops have occurred along the way for this group to regroup, to freshen up, as well as hydrate as they make their trek. I did speak to the SG of the EFF, Marshal Dlamini, earlier, who said they were going to be making their way to Gateway. However, there were talks between the EFF leader as well as SABC. There's a high police contingent with this particular group. As you heard someone just screaming out there, they are going to Florida Road. Yes, a high police contingent on the ground with this particular group as they protest throughout the Durban CBD. We are currently coming from Argyle Road now, where you can see many of the members are just stopped just to rest their feet. It has been a very long walk through the Durban CBD, right across to South Beach, and we find ourselves a mere meters away from Florida Road and Musgrave Centre. So we're not yet sure whether this group is going to be making the trek all the way to Gateway. The verdict is still out on that. When I did probe the SG on that, he did say, well, it depends, Jade. They can either go left or right. Right being into Durban North, left being into Florida and into Musgrave Centre. But yes, this group continues to make a protest, a very peaceful protest, a march. There hasn't been any issues along the way. There hasn't been any clashes with police along the way either. It has been relatively peaceful, holding hands, walking in unison, singing struggle songs, hoisting up of placards. Let's see if we can't engage the SG of the EFF, Marshal Dlamini. Mr. Dlamini, you're live on SABC News. Earlier, you and I spoke about where this particular protest will eventually finish. Are you happy with the turnout today of your members?
No, we're very happy. It's a successful protest. It's what we intended. We're happy that not everyone is here. Other fighters are congregating where they are congregating all around the province. And we're still here in high spirits, and the fighters determined to go up until we give the last order. So we are still on the ground and we're busy.
Where exactly are we heading?
No, as I said in the morning, we've got no destination where we're saying we're handing over any memorandum. We're occupying the streets of Durban. As you see now, we're going to go past Florida Road to remind police that instead of wasting their resources, there were people that were killed in Florida Road and nothing happened when everyone could see. To show how useless they are, they come and look after peaceful citizens who are just exercising their democratic and constitutional right to raise issues about a collapsed government. And where we're passing is a sign of how the high levels of crime, and they've not done anything about it, but all of them, they are here monitoring peaceful citizens who know exactly what they are doing.
Thank you, SG. Well, that was SG of the EFF, Marshal Dlamini just painting a picture for you back at home as this protest continues through Argyle Road. As you heard the SG saying, they're going to swing past Florida Road, and that's where prominent SA rapper Keenan Forbes was fatally killed a month ago alongside his friend, and just the SG talking about the crime in that particular area. So they're going to peacefully protest and march up that road. As you heard him say, he's not going to allude to the media as to where exactly this protest will end up. They do have until this evening. So I suppose we'll leave it there, and I'll hand back to you in studio as we keep you abreast of what's happening in KZN. It's back to you.
Jayed, very quickly before I let you go, of course, the big question is, has this march been impactful, or this protest, and how impactful has it been? Of course, we know that the EFF members are across the country, but talk to us about, in terms of your observations, has it been so far been a successful, peaceful, but also impactful march? And more importantly, has the CBD been shut down as the EFF had promised?
Yeah. Well, this morning we were in Inanda where we saw some disruptions in that particular township on the M25. They closed off the roads there. But we never saw any hostility. There was just closing of roads and merely trying to shut down that particular stretch of road into town so that the taxis would not be able to ferry commuters in and out. But the general consensus here in the broader eThekwini Metro is that there hasn't been any violence. It really has been a peaceful protest with sporadic incidents happening here and there. When I probed the SG on that, he did say to me that, criminal elements have tried to creep into this protest. But all in all, it has been a very peaceful one. I'm just going to move my cameraman out of the way as we are walking with a lot of police vehicles in and around this particular stretch of road. So yes, to answer your question, many of them are saying that it has been a very successful protest throughout the cross of the country, but also in eThekwini we've really seen the numbers coming out. Like the SG of the EFF said, there are several smaller protests currently underway in most parts of the province. But here in eThekwini, the numbers really show a sign of unity.
All right, Jayed, thank you so much for that. Of course, Jayed coming to us live there from Durban, and she earlier spoke to the EFF's Marshal Dlamini. They're saying, of course, maintaining that this is a peaceful protest. Jayed telling us there that they will be going to Florida Street momentarily. And of course, as I said earlier, we have reporters across the country